Hello and welcome to episode 68 of Retro Recall the PS1 Chronicles, a show where we play and rank every PlayStation game ever created. My name is Jimmy, and as always, I'm here with Mike.
Hello.
So this week we have a game that I think we're both pretty familiar with, right?
A big one this week.
Just to get us started, I mean, how much Doom have you played in your life? Whether it be this one or
geez.
some of the other ones.
As a kid, I remember playing the first one. Don't know on what system or where I played it at, because I doubt my parents would have allowed me to play this.
Mm-hmm.
So played that, and then you and I covered Doom 3 for the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much the extent of. So I went from the old school version to the new school version, and that's about it. How about you?
I mean, I played the original one. I had the demo version, which I don't remember how many levels it is, but I played it a ton as a kid. I had it as a part of some free discs that I got. I don't know. But then I played Doom 3 because I was excited about it. It was very technically impressive at the time. Like, it was one of those games where it's like, can you believe your PC can run Doom 3? You know? So there was that. And then I played the newer ones as well, like Doom 2016. And I haven't played Doom Eternal yet, but I'm a casual fan of the series.
It's crazy too how much it evolved. Like from what we're going to be seeing today to the newer one, where it's just like you're moving nonstop, jumping around, parkouring around the screens, like destroying all these enemies. It's like the intensity of the newer games, like, oh my God, this is so much different.
Yeah, I really do prefer that, honestly, to this. Because like I don't think it's a secret. I've made it clear on both of the other episodes. I'm not a huge fan of this style of first-person shooter. Like, I like first-person shooters in general, but the 90s early style where it's about like collecting keys and exploring, it's just not really what I like about first-person shooters. So it's kind of hard to judge these because like even if they're good, I still wouldn't like it, you know?
I get that. And unfortunately, that's just the style for the day of they couldn't do much. So this is the best we got with the genre.
I also understand because it's like, it's a genre that's just starting. So, you know, they're kind of taking elements of other things and bringing it all together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I did want to ask, like, when we're doing this episode, are we talking about our feelings on Doom as a whole, like Doom, the PC game, what that is, or are we just talking about what the PS1 version is? Like, are we criticizing the port or what the original intent of Doom is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it goes back to everything we've ever covered. Duke Nukem and all those other ports. I think, yeah, we can make comparisons between the two because we've played both pretty much, but I think ultimately the score should be focused on the PS1 version because that's the one we're playing.
Yeah, it's just tough because, like, you know, this is a spoiler for an opinion I'm going to have later, but, you know, I think Doom 1 is better than Doom 2, and for certain reasons, I don't really like Doom 2 as much. And
interesting take. Okay.
Yeah, I'll explain it later. But I don't know if that's just because of kind of what they did to it in the PS1 version or if that's just what the game is, because I've never played Doom 2. So
right.
There's all these variables. So I think I'm just going to kind of criticize it as it is right here. Like, that's it.
Right. Yeah. And it's never fair to the game to say, oh, well, because if we were to compare this to the PC version, it's like, oh, yeah, it was so much better on PC. So we're going to give it a higher score. But in reality, it's like, does it run the same on PlayStation? Maybe, but we should take that into account.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. We've covered a lot of ports on here. Like, we've covered Magic Carpet. We did Duke Nukem, Star Wars Dark Forces. There's probably more that I'm missing.
Yeah, we're at 60, almost 70 episodes now, so we're forgetting a lot.
I can't remember every single game at this point, but you know, does this port, do you think, have a responsibility to stay faithful to what the game is? Like, this changes a lot about what Doom is.
I'm curious about that then, because from my memory, this is pretty spot on to what the version I played as a kid was. Maybe I played the PlayStation version, I don't know. But
Just as kind of a general overview, I mean, obviously the music is completely different.
yes.
The kind of lighting and all that stuff kind of changes the vibe, I think, a lot of what this is going for.
Yeah. But
I mean, we're spoiling the whole discussion of this whole episode. This is why I'm trying to not say that much, but
yeah,
you
I
know,
get it.
just as a general question, is it
Yeah.
on them to kind of create a new game out of this port, or is it just like, hey, put Doom on there, that's it?
I think it depends on what the game is, right? Because we just covered Pinaby last week.
Mm-hmm.
And in that instance, I feel like you're going from a lesser system to a better system. You need to improve it to make it better for that system. As with this, I feel like if you're running PlayStation 1 to PC, you should be making it as comparable as possible so that everyone has the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there might be limitations on the PlayStation to why you can't keep them the same, but at least keep it as similar as possible.
Well, that's the weirdness with this one. It's like there's 2 games in this, and it's just called Doom. I feel like they could have sold even more if they just called it Doom 1 and 2 on the box.
Yeah, or made even more money of doing Doom 1 and then having Doom 2 also be released on PlayStation. Like, just split them up.
Yeah, and we'll get into this in a second, but like it's not even all the levels of either of them. And then they did Doom 3, the original Doom 3, it's called I believe Final Doom.
Final Doom, yeah.
That is also on PS1, but that's a separate disc.
Yes. And that's where I got confused because you kept saying, we're going to do Doom 1 and Doom 2. And I'm looking through the list like, well, Doom 2 never came out on PlayStation. Do you mean Final Doom is Doom 2?
I can only imagine it would be more confusing at the time because you don't have the resources to figure out what is what. So you're probably just going to buy Doom thinking it's just Doom,
Yeah, but I mean, also maybe a pleasant surprise where
Definitely.
you buy the first one and then you're like, oh, there's a second game included too? I got so much for my money. Like,
it's true. I don't know. We're tiptoeing around talking about this game a little too much for me, so I think we should just get right into it. Doom was released on the PS1 on November 16th, 1995. And this combines Doom 1 and Doom 2, which came out in 1993 and 1994, onto one single disc. It is not every single level from the games, though. Like I said, 30 levels from Doom 1, 23 levels from Doom 2, and there's also some PS1 exclusive levels as well. And yeah, I mean, the game was originally developed by id Software, obviously, but this port was done by Williams Entertainment and published by Midway. They also made Doom 64 right after this. So Doom 64 is its own game. It's not a port.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of history right there, dude.
And what's crazy is that I just knew most of that. Like, I have some of this in the rundown, but most of that stuff, I just know that because like Doom is a popular game and I just like have looked it up before because I'm a weirdo.
That's crazy. Like, you play all of this stuff and I'm looking at the rundown like, where is he getting this? There's more notes I'm not seeing.
It's strange. I mean, Doom 64 came out again a couple years ago, like finally being remastered. So that's why I kind of know a little bit about that. It's a little bit recent. Now, Doom for PS1, I never had as a kid. Like I said, I only ever played it on the computer. So this was a new experience to me diving into this.
Yeah. And it's also weird too, jumping in. I think this is the first game we've ever played with no intro. So I thought at least for a PlayStation version or even a PC version, like you would have something in the beginning to set you up for the game.
Just some kind of generic like FMV or something. Even if it was just like a demon getting killed or something, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be some big spectacular thing, just something to set the tone.
Yeah, it just jumps you right into the title screen and you're like, all right, time to play the game. I don't know if that's because it's like, you know what Doom is. Like, we don't need to sell this to you any more than we already do.
I thought about that, but like this game is only a couple years old at this point, It's not like it's a classic, I would think,
No, but I do think that the hype around the PC version,
Hmm.
everyone talking about it, when it's like announced for PlayStation 2, people would lose their minds of, oh, we get to play this too if they didn't have a computer strong enough to even play this game.
Yeah, and I mean, Doom was also, it's a meme now, but coming out on every single console. Like, I think before this, and this is off the top of my head, it came out on the Jaguar, the 32X, and the Super Nintendo. There might even be more, but I know that it came out on all those. And around the same time as this, it came out on the Saturn. So it's like, it's just everywhere.
This is the original Skyrim.
Oh, it for sure is. I mean, you've seen the memes, dude. Doom running on like a calculator and shit.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, people are still making custom maps and stuff for these games to this day. But
There's that big one. I don't know if you saw that just came out.
what is it? Something House?
My House or
Yeah.
something like that. And people were obsessed with that for a while.
I did watch a video on that a while ago, but
Yep.
it looked really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, what's this? Why are people still talking about Doom in this state? But yeah, it's still going strong. I'm impressed that the community is still like that high.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't really love the original Doom, so none of that stuff is really super interesting to me, but
Right.
it's just cool to see that it's still going. But yeah, so as I did these notes, I wasn't really sure if we were going to literally just talk about what Doom is, or if we're just going to like talk about what makes this version different. Because like, I have a feeling almost anybody listening to or watching this knows what Doom is, right?
It would be hard for you not to know. But I think just in case you don't, you're pretty much just running around shooting things, collecting key cards to get into specific doors, and then you find the exit. I mean, that's pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the exact same thing as Duke Nukem and Dark Forces, which were Doom
Yes.
clones. That's it. You're exploring, you're pushing buttons. You know, there's no jump button, which is incredibly annoying.
That was painful. And like, they specifically set up puzzles where it's like, oh, if you just had a jump, you would be able to do this, but you would have to find a way around to get to there. Specifically in Doom 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the run button, which you kind of can just run off of things really fast, which
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that I could do that for most of Doom 1 because you don't have to do it.
It was pretty much towards the end of my gameplay of Doom 1. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a run button. This would be helpful. But you're already moving fast enough without the run button. So I never felt a need for it.
Yeah, I think it's just like if you really need to get around, because there's also like you can strafe with the R1 and R1 and L1. You know, you're strafing
Yes,
around,
yes,
moving
yes.
quickly. It's kind of trying to simulate the speed of playing on a PC, right? So
Yeah.
I think it does a pretty good job at that. This is like what I remember of Doom, you know?
Yeah, I had no issues with like how it ran as I'm playing. I'm like, yeah, this is Doom. Like this is exactly how I remember it being. Nothing has changed. Whenever I'm going about, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a secret somewhere around here. And it wasn't until like 3 levels later that I remember the secret. So it's like I had to find the specific level that had the secret I remembered.
Yeah, I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised that I didn't get sick from this. I really thought I was going to, but not saying the frame rate is rock solid or anything, but it is nowhere near as bad as Duke Nukem or Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah, and I wonder why that is. I mean, maybe they just had it down, or actually they were running on their own engine at this
Mhm.
point, right?
I believe
that could
so.
be it.
And also, like, it's Doom. You know, it's an important game to get right. Some of those other ports that I mentioned, I know the 32X and the Super Nintendo ones are fucking trash. Like, they barely run well at all. So, this and the Saturn version, I think, are like the first truly good versions of the game you can play on a console.
Oh, okay.
I don't know this for sure. I didn't play the Jaguar version, obviously, but
I was gonna say, like, you're just pulling out all of this knowledge out of nowhere.
I just know I've seen Doom on Super Nintendo and 32X before because people would always say that the 32X version is good. I don't know. Me being into older games, right? I would find lists. Oh, what's a list of 32X games I should play? People are like, oh, Doom for the 32X is really good. I load it up and it fucking sucks. Just
Wait, did you had a 32X?
no, but emulating it,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't. That's crazy. You had one.
I mean, they're not that rare. I just don't know anybody who was stupid enough to buy one,
Yeah.
other than like a collector thing. But
Also true.
anyway, back to this. How much of each did you play?
An hour of each game, which put me to level 5 on both games, actually. Or I finished level 5 on each one. So I was going into the 6th level.
Okay. So I made it to level 7 in Doom 1 and level 6 in Doom 2.
Oh, okay. And for about the same amount of time playing?
Yeah. I would say between 45 minutes and an hour for both.
Yeah. And the only reason, as always, it took me a bit longer, took it a little less than you did, was just because I was exploring a lot. Much like Duke Nukem, there are a ton of secrets in this game. And specifically on I want to say level 2 or 3 of the first one, I spent a good chunk of time trying to figure out how to get outside to get the really cool gun.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out, so I just moved on. And Doom 2 also had this one secret I just could not figure out, and I just had to give up and move to the next level.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff where I'm like, that's cool, but like, I just don't really care enough to spend the time because you don't need to. You know what I mean? Obviously, I played on the easiest difficulty. I'm a wimp. So,
Okay. So that's interesting. I played one more up from that, which is Don't Hurt Me That Much or something.
the only time I ever had any trouble on this difficulty mode was in some of the later levels I got to in Doom 2.
Yes. The difficulty, they just start spiking that instantly in Doom 2. That's where I started dying the most. And I think it could have been me rushing, but also just, they throw a lot more enemies at you this time around.
No, and I'm going to say the reason why I like Doom 1 over Doom 2 is I feel like Doom 1 is a little more thought out as to what you're doing, whereas Doom 2, the majority of the levels that I played, this is only the first 6 levels, so, could change, but it's just like, what if you did the same thing in Doom 1, but there's just some of the most powerful enemies in the game just being annoying next to you?
Yeah, they threw in the enemy variety on you so fast. Like immediately, I think it's like level 2 or 3, you get that the pink ball floating demon thing.
Mm-hmm. And there's like the cyber demons and shit.
Yeah, and it killed me like right away. I'm like, you aren't supposed to be here this soon. Like we're just at the beginning of the game.
So you didn't make it to level 6 in Doom 2, right?
No, I was just about to start it.
Oh my god, dude. You spawn in and there's like doors surrounding you. One of the doors you open and there's like 20 of the cyber demons in there. I'm not joking. Maybe even more. And it gives you like an invulnerability thing so you can kind of like try and fight them really quickly. But I ended up dying. And I didn't realize this because I barely died, but if you die, you start with just a pistol again.
Yep.
And that's when I decided I was done playing.
It's a weird decision of, oh, you died, so you can start the level over again. No big deal. But you lose literally everything you had. So if you're 10 levels in and you collected all this stuff, you're back down to the handgun. And the handgun won't cut it for those later levels. You need those upgraded weapons. So it's almost like if you die later on, it's better just to start over again and recollect everything and just don't die later.
I don't know if this is like a theme that's going on lately, but like Omega Boost, Jedi Power Battles, like making you replay the levels you already played just so you can have the bare minimum to continue is so frustrating. And I don't know if this has been a thing this whole time and I'm just kind of latching onto it now to complain about it, but obviously at the point where I died, I was already ready to be done playing this game. But if I was actually trying to beat it, that would just be so frustrating to the point where I might just quit anyway.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to like run my memory back through all the games we played. I can't recall it being much of a theme, but yeah, lately we've just been hitting these games nonstop of they're just so punishing if you
Mhm.
die. And I don't understand why we just keep doing this. So hopefully going forward, we don't have that many games like this. But I died in like level 3 of Doom 2. And yeah, I started with the pistol gun, and it even on like what medium difficulty or whatnot,
Mhm.
it jumped up to like extreme difficult because now I have a pistol and I'm running out of ammo and I'm trying to like find a shotgun. Like, can I get something to get me through these levels?
Mhm.
And it's just like I really contemplated starting over again just to do that and be better off getting into those levels again.
Yeah, it's so strange because Doom 2 is not like sequels are today. It's more like you need to play the first one or you will not understand what to do or anything. Like
Nope.
you will just get demolished instantly if you just go straight into Doom 2. So, part of me respects that. They're like, play the first one, idiot. Like that's how you'll get good at it. But it is also just a little annoying that it just goes 0 to 10 immediately.
But again, if you're playing the first one, you have those skills down and you know what to expect. So that probably is why it's so difficult right away.
No, I mean, I understand it. And in the context of this version of the game, it makes sense because, you would obviously play Doom 1, then Doom 2, even though I think that the naming convention is a little confusing, calling it Ultimate Doom.
Yeah, yeah, it's this whole thing where it's pretty much like the new Xbox is coming out. Like, which one's the newest one? Because they're all different names.
Doom Series S, Doom Series X,
Doom, the
Doom
ultimate
1,
Doom.
Doom 1 Pro S. It's confusing as hell. I understand that. And it should have just said Doom 1 and Doom 2 because Ultimate Doom is like the final version of Doom 1. And this is the only way to play it on the PS1. So it has like extra
Mm,
stuff, I guess. But then on the other side of it, there's shit cut out of the game anyway. So like,
yep.
I don't even understand what they're getting at here,
You got to make cuts to get things done, but you also got to provide more entertainment at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of just been harping on Doom in general for a while here. So I think we should actually talk about what the PS1 version is.
We should, yes.
So we touched on the controls a little bit. How do you feel the controls are here compared to like some of the other ones we played?
I was thinking the same question for you too.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I feel like the biggest point is you can't look up or down. It's just you just move left or right. It's what we all know as Doom.
Yeah.
And so when we went into Duke Nukem and you could look up and down, that's what threw me off so much. But whenever I was able to just look left and right, I was fine and I was having fun. Like I feel like every first person game we play is going to have just this movement left and right. You don't have to aim really. You just point in the general direction of the enemy. So I didn't mind it too much.
I think out of the ones we played, this is the best by far.
Yeah.
It's like not even close, really.
But how do you think it's different from Wolfenstein? Or sorry, not Wolfenstein.
Dark Forces or Duke
no.
Nukem?
Duke Nukem, yeah.
Well, Duke Nukem, you had to look up and down and like things would be flying around and you got to get it. Like I know you didn't have to look up and down, but the game kind of makes you feel like you do, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I kept dying in that game until I realized, oh, I don't have to do this.
It doesn't even need the option. Like that shouldn't even be a thing you can do because just not even worrying about it at all makes this way more fun.
Yeah. Not having to worry about, oh, am I directly on them? Like the best part about Doom is seeing an enemy far away and you can snipe them down with your pistol and they can never hit you because you're just like, oh, I can see your pixels. I'm going to shoot in that direction. The bullets are going to hit you. We're good.
Even if they're shooting fireballs or something at you, you can just dodge them easily because you're like 100 feet away.
You see them coming for so long. You're like, all right, I'm just going to strafe over here and then just strafe over here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of negative so far, I think, but like, I'm pretty positive on this as a whole just because like, I may not like what Doom is and this style of gameplay, but I can acknowledge that this is a good version of Doom.
Yeah, yeah. I also think about it too, because I think back of like, oh, I would much rather play the PC version.
Yeah.
But then I think about what the PC version actually is, Like it's not the way we think of PC gaming today. I remember the controls were very different Um, so it's not like you could use your mouse to look around. You had to use, I think it was the arrow keys or something. I don't know.
I don't remember, but
It wasn't very simple. So I feel like we'd be equally frustrated trying to play it on PC.
mhm. Well, there's that, and there's the fact that like there wasn't really a all-in-one package version of this game because they were releasing different levels and episodes and stuff like that. So eventually, obviously, there was, but before this, I would imagine it was a lot harder to find a complete version of this game and just easily play it on your computer.
Yeah, that's also true. But I mean, we went so deep into this already.
Mhm. We always
Another
do.
big thing is I know there's what 8 weapons or something.
7 or 8,
Technically
yeah.
9.
Yeah.
How many did you get? I guess, and what was like your favorite one?
The last one that I unlocked before I stopped playing Doom 2 was the like plasma gun.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite by far was the super shotgun.
I didn't get the super shotgun.
It was in Doom 2.
Oh,
I can't remember if it was in Doom 1 or 2, but it was just like a double barrel shotgun.
that would be nice. Yeah, I just always use the pistol.
Oh.
But whenever I was in the close range or like tight quarters, it was always shotgun. That's just all.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. You can just use the shotgun the whole time. Doesn't matter if they're far
Also,
away. It's just fun. Like it feels good to use it. You know what I mean?
It does. Yeah, you just pop around the corner, shoot, and then usually one hit kill on every single enemy.
Blast them away.
Yeah.
It's much more fun than even like the minigun or even the plasma gun because it feels like these enemies are sponges and then I hit them once or twice with the shotgun and they're done, you know?
And it feels so much better than Duke Nukem with that shotgun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're just comparing PS1 versions here, but this is not even close. We're not even in the same fucking ballpark here.
No. I mean, aside from that, the chainsaw, I remember as a kid, my
Mhm.
favorite weapon in this entire game.
I used it a little bit, but I just love the shotgun, so I just ended up using it the whole time.
There's just times when like the level we're looking at here for your screen, it's you're in that dark maze where the lights are flickering.
hmm
I just put the chainsaw on because you have those pig guys running at you. So if you're going to get up in my face, I'm going to have the chainsaw to counter that.
True. Very true. Yeah, I mean, that kind of brings me to one of my negatives of this, and that's the lighting. You know,
Okay.
I understand what they're going for and I like it, but half the time when I'm playing this, I straight up cannot see it.
And I almost kind of remember this from the PC version too, where there's areas where you're just like this close in front of the screen trying to make out anything because it's just you can't see at all.
Well, I did research, and the lighting is very specific to this version of the game. They
Okay.
redid all of it, and you'll see there's like colored lighting as well. That's brand new to Doom. And
Oh.
I have my ring light here, and I have other lights here. I was playing right before we started this. I had to turn these lights off so I could see the fucking screen because any glare at all was just ruining it. And I have a nice monitor too. It's not like I have some like cheap thing. So I'm just like staring at it like, what am I doing?
Especially when like you have that strobing light maze. I'm just like squinting and like looking at like, is there an enemy in front of me? I don't know. That was the best part for the shotgun.
I am lucky I didn't get a headache from that. That almost got me for sure.
What, the strobing lights?
Just the mixture of the frame rate, which is not perfect, but it's not terrible. But that and the strobe lights, and then trying to really focus and see what's going on, just kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, you know?
Which we probably might have to put a strobe warning at the beginning of this video. Maybe. I don't know.
You could always put a warning like just before that specific part, but we'll see.
That is also true. Because it's not an all the time thing, but
Yeah, I mean, you could just be like, hey, right now we're about to show some strobes, and now you're going to show them in the video. So there it
Yeah.
is.
If you're saying the colored lights are only for the PS1 version, then I almost definitely played the PS1 version as a kid because I specifically remember the maze with blue lights, like early on in Doom 1.
I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't go super deep into this. I just, was kind of looking in general at what made the PS1 version unique. I just know a lot of this lighting, like, we're looking at this now. It's like a dark room. It wasn't like this in the original version. That's all.
But is that a bad thing because you are technically playing a horror game. So
I just don't like it because I literally cannot see it. And I don't think that is the intent.
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if they threw in a flashlight, which I know that Doom 3 game we played did.
Yeah.
Um, but even that, there's a specific one. It might be Doom 2, where there's a very dark maze, and you have to hit the light switch to turn on the lights.
Yeah.
In that case, I love the lighting of like not everything is lit, but you just have these patches of light. So is there going to be something in the darkness that you can't see? And it added to the atmosphere of the entire thing.
Yeah, but then there's like the one part in Doom 1 where you're in this like tiny, short little maze, which I think actually might be coming up to you right in this video right now. But if it's not this, it's a little area. It is this where you can't see anything.
Hold for us to get to this part so I know what you're talking about.
Okay, whatever. It's a part like this where you're going through these mazes where you really can't see. There's enemies and like your bullets kind of light it up, I guess, like the blast from your gun. But
that's a big theme for these games in general. Is just here's a maze now and you can't see, get through it.
I think for me, I like what they're going for, and I think it's a good idea. It's just poorly done here. That's all.
I get it. And I think that if you're going to have, I would love to see the PC version to see how these mazes are done. Because if it's a little bit brighter, then awesome. You fix the problem. It's a weird decision to make it so dark that, and you don't have any item to counteract that.
Yeah.
Because especially when they hide secrets within the mazes, on top of just you trying to make it to the exit, it's like, was I here? I can't see to find a landmark to know if I'm going the right way or not.
The thought of trying to find a secret in those mazes just makes me mad. Like, I would literally never do that. But I do agree with what you're saying, though, about them trying to kind of make this a horror game because the music is completely different. The music and all the sound effects are all different. And I personally, and this might be a hot take, I guess, but think it is way better than the original Doom music.
Was not expecting you to go that direction, but yes, I agree.
There were times, and it's not scary, but I felt tension playing this, and I never, ever felt that playing Doom before.
Yes, the ambient drony music with like sometimes you hear sounds, but it's like part of the soundtrack. Like it messes with you, and I'm like every time I'd hear something, I'd like turn the corner, like is there something behind me that I don't know about? And it's two different games, right? You have the Doom one for the PC where you had that rock music.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel like, oh, I'm a badass. I'm going through all these levels, killing things. But then you cut to this and you have the ambient music where it's like, okay, now we're spooky. Now it's like, you're not so much of a badass. We're going to make it terrifying on you.
And that's where I'm like, I hate the lighting, but the lighting combined with these sound effects and this music is like actually kind of scary a little bit. And if I played this at the time, I would have been fucking terrified of this.
Yes, I agree 100% because being on edge now playing the game, I could not imagine child me playing this game.
Well, I think we've talked about this before, but kind of the horror from playing this now is like, is there something back here that's going to kill me and I'm going to lose all my progress?
Yes.
And that still exists to a point, but like as a kid, I would be like terrified going through these dark parts.
Yeah, I think too, it's like, sorry if you can hear the fire truck in the background of my audio. It's so loud. But I think too, it's just, there are scary moments when you open up a door and you're face to face with like 5 enemies, like you were saying earlier, like you weren't prepared for this. And so you're like, oh my God, you actually jump a little because you're like, oh, now I got to run away and like take this on one by one. Yeah.
And the game loves, and I mean loves, to put an enemy right at the exit.
Loves to put one right at the exit. In Doom 2, you have teleporters now. One of my big grievances with that is before you can even see where you teleported, there could be an enemy right in front of you hitting you. But you see this green orb because you're not fully in that level yet. And like, oh, this isn't fair.
Like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah. How do I know that you're going to be there and I can't see you to shoot you? So luckily I didn't die to that or I would have been very angry.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about what Doom is and what this first one is a lot. So, like, just to tell you why I don't like Doom 2 as much is I just think that it has everything that Doom 1 has, but it's just amped up to fucking 10 immediately. And it takes away the tension because there's just a million fucking enemies on the screen. And not in a natural way. It just looks like they were copy and pasted there.
Yeah, I can see your argument with that. Personally, I love the level design in Doom 2. It feels like the levels are bigger and
See, that's why I don't like it. It gets rid of the like claustrophobic feeling because now I'm in a big open area when there's nothing going on.
I also get where you're coming from with this. I I can see both sides of the coin. I can't really make a stand on it. Does it feel like they go to level 100 immediately? Yes. I don't like the fact that like all the enemies are just copy pasted from the first one. Like there's no variety except for like the pig guys have different colors to them now.
Well, by copy pasted, I just meant like you'll go into a room and there's like 10 of the same dude just there's there immediately.
But that's Doom 1 too.
Yeah, but they're doing it with like I said, the one where there's all the cyber demons. I'm like, dude, this is like one of the strongest enemies in the game. And you just put like 20 of them right in front of me. Like, all right, it kind of just ruins like you're shocked the first time, but then you're just like, okay.
Yeah, but then at the same time you had that whatever the brown demon is called.
Mm-hmm.
That one level in Doom 1 where they're all in a cage and there's like 50 of them in that cage in the center of the map.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I don't know. For Doom, I don't think like the bigger, is better. I think that the more like claustrophobic, going through mazes, going through hallways is better for Doom. But, that's a personal opinion. I'm not necessarily saying that Doom 2 is bad. It's just I prefer Doom 1.
Yeah, and what I meant by the level design too is just like with Doom 1, it's more like you're in a not factory, but you are kind of in a factory-esque area. But with Doom 2, you now provide like now you can go outside more. You can do like there's a house fort thing that you go into, and like it just feels like they're like, okay, what if we still keep doing this? Like we still have the same interiors and stuff as Doom 1, but now we just try to spruce it up a tiny bit and like start adding more to it,
I understand that. And, obviously I haven't played the original version of Doom 2 or played even that much of this. So who's to say, I might change my mind after playing both of them back to back in full. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like you were saying, with it being bigger isn't always better. There were several times I got lost in Doom 2.
Mm-hmm.
And a good amount of my time was just trying to figure out where am I supposed to go because I feel like I explored everything.
And that did not happen to me in Doom 1.
It doesn't happen at all in Doom 1. And so with that, I can see that being a negative to what you're saying.
But I mean, regardless, like having all of this in one package, regardless of our feelings, it's still interesting that all of these levels, are in this game to play.
I mean, a big thing too, I mean, we kind of like brush by the secrets. There are so many of those in this game where I feel like I explored every inch of the map and I get done and like, oh, you found 60% of the secrets. It's like, what did I miss? I swear I clicked on everything.
We kind of brushed over it because I just didn't look for any. It's just not really. I didn't feel like it was an integral part of my experience to try and like hunt down every little thing just because like you don't need to.
You don't. Well,
but I know you and you love to find every little thing. So I understand why you did it, but I just kind of like blasting through the levels,
Yeah. But on top, like you say, it's not worth it. Yes and no. There's that in the very first level or second level. There's like one of the most powerful guns just sitting right there on the other side of the wall. You just need to figure out how to get to it. And that's the one I couldn't figure out how to get to. But like the fact that they dangle that in front of you, like, oh, you can have this right now instead of waiting. It makes you work for it pretty much.
I just meant like you beat the level just fine without it. It's not like you needed it.
That's no.
Yeah.
Just like a fun gadget to have to get through the game. With that though, did you look at the map at all?
I looked at it like once when I figured out how to do it and then never looked at it again.
So I also only did it once, just, oh, okay, cool, there's a map. Didn't realize that the map shows you where secret things are. So if you run by a wall and then look at your map, there will be a yellow line on that wall. That's a secret door. So I started using that more and more and more through Doom 2 of like running around and like, oh, here's a yellow door. I didn't know this was a secret area. I click on it. Yep, it's an elevator and it takes me up and I got to find more stuff.
Well, that seems like it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the secrets then, because they're
It
just on
does.
the map. So
it's pretty much what I said about Pinobi last week.
yeah.
You're showing us where the secrets are. It defeats the purpose, but it was helpful with how big the maps were.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I didn't even look at it, so it didn't really affect me at all. And I don't even know if you told me this like 2 days ago, I still don't think I would have cared. Like, I might have got a few for footage, but that would have been it.
It does help though, because the level I was lost on, I just put it into map mode and started running around, and I happened to see one little alleyway that I didn't take, but I could have swore I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it works the way like how I thought Pinobi should have been, where you don't see the map until you actually explore that area. So then the lines start popping up.
That's how literally every game should be.
It should be, yes. And so I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay, here's the exit. And I found it immediately after looking at the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that Doom has secrets. I know that's a big part of it. It's just like, I don't really care. I do love exploring in games. Like, I'm playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor right now. I didn't even tell you that, but it is a game where you can explore every nook and cranny. And you don't even get anything cool for doing it. It's just fun to play that game. But for me, it's like, with this, it just doesn't make me feel like I want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and even on Duke Nukem with all their secrets, is like the secrets are more comedy for Duke Nukem.
Well, yeah, in Duke Nukem, it's like, oh, here's some boobs. Ha ha ha.
Here's some boobs. Here's a peeing sound and
Yeah.
farts. But with this, yeah, most of the time the secrets are just, oh, you found a different path to take to get you somewhere. And that's it.
That or just like finding a weapon earlier than you would have. But,
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's just like fun to have it and to just, demolish everybody.
Yeah. Or more times than not, it's always just health and armor is what's behind a lot of doors.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I'm about ready to move on here to reviews. We've been talking about this for a while. The only other thing I really wanted to mention was that there's no multiplayer at all. Like, you can only play multiplayer if you link two PS1s together with a link cable, which I didn't even know was really a thing.
Yeah, that's how Destruction Derby was.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
That was like early on, yeah. That was the only way to do multiplayer, which is crazy that that was the solution to it, but I guess at the time it makes sense.
I mean, for this game, I think that if you tried to do split screen, this would literally just not work. Like, your PS1 would just explode.
Yeah.
It would run at like 2 frames a second. So I understand why they did it. I wonder if it runs good. I will never find out because there's no way to emulate that. And, obviously we don't have a PS1 link cable. So
yeah, but also how crazy it'd be for us to both just be running around these levels, just destroying everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there's a deathmatch, and I believe you can play some of the game co-op, which is cool.
Yeah. Although deathmatch would be really fun too.
That'd be stressful. 1v1 me on Doom PS1. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that I necessarily feel like that is a knock against the game. It's just kind of what, they made a choice because the game definitely wouldn't be able to run it. So even if it was here, it would run like shit.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about is that the whole point of Doom is like they have to make it run good because of what it is. So if it's going to cost the frame rates and everything and how the player experiences the game by having a split screen, then yeah, just don't put it in at all.
Yeah, it is what it is. But all right, you ready to move on to some reviews then?
Review time.
So this version of Doom got exclusively good reviews, and IGN gave the game a 7 out of 10, and they said, while there are a few problems with controls, most notably in turning corners, the game looks great. Let's face it though, Doom is starting to get a little old, but if you want a faithful conversion of it, this is the one.
I mean, if how bad is it where you're saying that it feels old at this point in the game's life?
Literally only been out for 2 years. Like, all right.
Yeah. But also, I don't know. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like you're opening up the market to people who didn't get the chance to play it, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about playing Doom as a kid, but this was like way later when I was playing it. Like, this is late 90s. Like, I was not playing Doom on like a DOS machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I wanted to play Doom as a child, this or one of the other console versions would have been the best way to play it.
Hmm.
But all right, Absolute PlayStation gave the game a 9 out of 10. And they said, the playability of this game is right up there with the PC version, maybe even better. Great new light sourcing effects have been added. Ultimate Doom and Doom 2 on one disc. Quite possibly the best two-player Link game available for the PlayStation.
Those are big words to use there.
I mean, yeah, it probably is the best two-player Link game because there's probably not that many.
Probably not. That doesn't mean saying it runs better than PC.
I can't
I don't
say
know.
what Doom on the PC looked like in 1995.
I honestly feel like if we played the PC version as well, using the old school PC controls, we'd much prefer this one over the PC version as well.
And who's to say it even ran that well? I don't know how well the very, very original version ran.
This is also true.
But yeah, that brings us to our scores. So I'm pretty conflicted on this. You know, I
Yep.
had a number written down, but I don't think that that's right. I was going to kind of lower it a little bit, but I like Doom fine. I don't love it, but this is a good game. This is a good
It is.
version of the game. There's some frame rate issues, but it's nowhere near what it could have been, as we've seen. So I think I'm going to go with a 7.
Well, okay. Whew. Before we started this episode, I'm like, I don't really have a good score because I don't know if where I'm sitting is bad or not.
I started off with like a 6, 6.5, and then I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is just my own bias of not liking what this is. It is still a good game. So I was between a 7, 7.5, but I had enough negatives that I think 7 is fine.
It's one of those things of with this being like the first as of the first person shooter series. It's just like it's really hard to really critique this too much because you're the first in its genre. So it's how do you really? It's difficult.
Yeah.
But considering we did Star Wars and Duke Nukem, it's a lot easier now to give it a score.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting at between 7.5 to 8.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to say that it has like a minor flaws because it's again the first in the series. So it's like it's hard to judge itself against itself for the things that it does wrong.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So I'm just gonna go with the 7.5. I'll stick to the lower end of that. So I'm so glad that I wasn't alone on the high end.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not a bad game. I don't hate it. It's just, it's fine.
Yeah. And that's going to put us at 7.25. Crash Bandicoot 2, Siphon Filter, Blaster Master, Blood Omen. And that's it.
This is an interesting one because we don't often have ties higher up on the list like this.
We don't.
I think I would go probably between Crash 2 and Siphon Filter.
Really? You like this more than you like Siphon Filter?
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
You could convince me, but
I don't remember enough to argue with you. That's the thing. It's like it's been so long.
Here's the thing. You're taking an old school shooter game and comparing it to a new school shooter game. I feel like the bias is going to be, Siphon Filter is better. Just because it looks better, it plays better. It has the things that obviously an upgraded game would have.
Yeah.
I was honestly thinking, here's where I was thinking, between Blood Omen and Blaster Master.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think that's fine. I was just trying to be respectful to Doom, but I think that Yeah, I'd rather play Blaster Master probably.
That was way more fun, I think, than
Yeah.
this. Yeah. All right.
Sounds good to me.
So that would put it at number 19, right below Blaster Master, right above Blood Omen. Not at the very bottom of that tie, so not bad.
Yeah, I mean, top 20 for now. Not bad at all.
Mm-mm. And it makes me look forward to Final Doom when we finally get to that. Because it's like, all right, we just played Doom 1 and Doom 2. Does Doom 3 take any new shots? Do they try anything different? And
I have a feeling the answer to that is no.
Unfortunately, I think you are right.
But for it to have its own separate disc, it must be something going on there.
I hope so. I really do. Because if we finally get to that episode, it's like, oh yeah, we could have just tied this in with the other two games because it's literally the same thing, then that's going to be disappointing.
All right, I'm excited to get into Final Doom at one point, but that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching or listening. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe, as well as give us a rating on podcast services. We'll see you next week.